probably the batting of 𝗛𝘀𝗵𝘁, how he continues to put this team on his back. Every time a challenge is faced, he as a leader puts the team on his back. I mean, I'm really disappointed in the way we've bowled. I mean, look at the ODIs we've played this year. Ireland, England, even at home against Pakistan, and you come in Bangladesh and spinners should be licking their lips, because that's the area where you will get to execute your plans and in the most favorable conditions for you. And what we displayed over the last 3 games has been very poor, not consistent enough. And all 3 games we've allowed Bangladesh to score above par. I thought it was more like a 3.5 runs on over pitch. Every game we've had to score over 4 and over. And with the bat, again, every time the challenge comes, we lie down and die, except for when either Kesi or 𝗛𝘀𝗵𝘁 puts their hands up in challenging times. So very disappointed. Bangladesh played really well, kudos to them, the conditions, but we didn't match them skill for skill with ball, bat and in the field. So they are deserving winners. It's a mindset, for us, when we explain in the dressing room what this game means, we're looking for automatic qualification. We got 2 teams fighting for that last spot before the cutoff period. And then you have a series decider on the line. Your mindset must be, I'm the one to do that. You saw the mindset of the batters. They were like, you know what, I'm going to be brave on that wicket. I'm going to set the tone. And the score didn't reflect what the wicket is. The batsmen came in, decided to be brave in the power play, and that put us under pressure in the power play. And then we just took so long to answer. We were not consistent enough on the areas that would challenge the batters, and then we paid heavily for it. Look, here's the thing, no matter what conditions you face, yes, the wicket was new to us, we've never seen anything like it, but it's not like one team bats on one wicket and then the other team goes and bats on a different wicket. We all had to play on it, and that's where the skills and the mindset and the temperament comes out. Bangladesh was better than us in all 3 disciplines. The first 2 games, it looked like they understood what was a pass score, and you could see in their approach, even if they were scoring in blocks of 10, sometimes 2.5 runs and over, they just knew if they kept wickets in hand and give a push in the last 10 overs, they managed to score in the first 2 games, I think 7 and over and 8.2 to get the score to 200, and then they know if their spinners put the ball in the right area, they were good, and they were able to assess and have the skill set to play better cricket on that wicket than us. I'll tell you this, I always want to have some home advantage. I can't tell the Bangladesh team or the authorities what wicket to prepare. What I focus on is trying to ensure that my team, when they travel away, they have a skill set to counteract whatever comes. Like I said, this series was very important for both teams. So at home, you're supposed to do what you have to do to win. That's the most important thing. Whether that affects your development going outside of Bangladesh, that's on them for when they travel to play well. But I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I won't be mad. I just thought my players just didn't play well throughout the series. Look, sometimes just watching the series, you say sometimes it's, when you're on the outside looking in and see how, you want to play for West Indies. Massive kudos to Akhil in the manner in which he came up. When I called him about, being the replacement, I was only looking for the last game. And he said, Coach, I get in at 2 o'clock. I'm going to be ready to play and bowl that first ball for you. So I understand the challenges that was faced, but the bravery in which, the the bravery he showed, and in a team where you have 3 left-arm spinners, and the guy who's been out for the last 2 years come in and outshine you, then yes, there's place for competition, and that's what you want in a team. You don't want to select guys because they have nobody else to replace them. You want to select guys because they have competition, and what Akil did in this series is definitely going to challenge some of the guys who've been there playing. Yeah, I told you, we were poor in all 3 disciplines. I think we dropped, I counted 5, 6 of them, and 1 didn't go to hand because 1 was too wide early up in Sumoyo's inning. But yeah, we were poor in all departments today. No, it wasn't hard at all. The conditions dictate how you select your team. And that's what we did. When you have a part-timer come in here and bowl in the most economical spell by an overseas bowler, it tells you we did the right decision. And again, it's a reflection of the surface that we're playing on. So history created. It was enough for us to win the second game. But yeah, we just got to learn, and for us it's trying to play the conditions. I'm pretty sure that will not happen in New Zealand when we get down to New Zealand, I could guarantee you that. But yeah, we played the conditions and adjusted.
How much are you looking forward to heading to Chatham Ground and getting away from here?
Well, from my experience, that's supposed to be the best wicket in Bangladesh, but I've not seen it. So we travel tomorrow, and hopefully when we practice, I get to have a look at the surface and see if I could compare what Dhaka was to Chittagong. But yeah, we're looking forward. I would prefer a 3-0 series victory in the ODIs, with all what's at stake. But I guess we have an opportunity to do the reverse in our home series. I think last year, December, when we won the ODI series 3 love, and they won the T20 series 3 love. So yeah, hopefully we could do that and play a better brand of cricket out there.